Yeah, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. Welcome back to our subject. Easily fooled. We're in 1 Samuel chapter 10 now. Samuel anoints Saul. Now this is all going to start to get very interesting from here on in. So bear with me, please. There's many insights for you to see and learn. Here we go. Then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, Is this not because the Lord has anointed you commander over his inheritance? When you have departed from me today, you will find 2 men by Rachel's tomb in the territory of Benjamin at Zelzah. And they will say to you, The donkeys which you went to look for have been found. And now your father has ceased caring about the donkeys and is worrying about you, saying, What shall I do about my son? Then you shall go on forward from there and come to the terebinth tree of Tabor. There 3 men going up to God at Bethel will meet you, one of them carrying 3 goats, another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a skin of wine, and they will greet you and give you 2 loaves of bread, which you shall receive from their hands. After that you shall come to the hill of God, where the Philistine garrison is. It will happen when you have come there to the city that you will meet a group of prophets coming down from the high place with string instruments, a tambourine, a flute, and a harp before them, and they will be prophesying. Then the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you, and you will prophesy with them and be turned into another man. And let it be when these signs come to you, that you do as the occasion demands, for God is with you. You shall go down before me to Gilgal, and surely I will come down to you to offer burnt offerings and make sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days you shall wait, till I come to you and show you what you should do. 7 days you shall wait, till I come to you and show you what you must do. So it was when he had turned back to go from Samuel, that God gave him another heart. All those signs came to pass that day. When they came there to the hill, there was a group of prophets to meet him. When the Spirit of the Lord of God come upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it happened when all who knew him formerly saw that he indeed prophesied among the prophets, that the people said to one another, What is this that has come upon the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? Now Saul had been anointed king. Then a man from there answered and said, But who is their father? Therefore it became a proverb, Is Saul among the prophets? And when he had finished prophesying, he went to the high place. Has Saul been anointed at this point or not? Then Samuel's uncle said to him and his servant, Where did you go? And he said, To look for the donkeys. When he saw that they were nowhere to be found, he went to Samuel. And Saul's uncle said, Tell me, please, what Samuel said to you. So Saul said to his uncle, He told us plainly that the donkeys had been found, but about the matter of the kingdom he did not tell him what Samuel had said, which is a very interesting thing. But about the matter of the kingdom he did not tell him what Samuel had said. Now is it possible that Saul suffers from an inferiority complex, that he didn't feel worthy to be king? Then Samuel called the people together to the Lord at Mizpah, and said to the children of Israel, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, I brought up Israel out of Egypt, and delivered you from the hand of the Egyptians, and from the hand of all the kingdoms, and from those who oppressed you. Well, that's easy to say, but many, many died. But you have today rejected your God, who himself saved you from all your adversities and your tribulations. And you have said to him, No, set a king over us. Now therefore present yourselves before the Lord by your tribes and by your clans. Well, on the one hand, the Lord's give them what they want, and on the other hand, he's saying, this is what you're going to get because of what you want. And when Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was chosen. And when he caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families, the family of Matri was chosen, and Saul the son of Kish was chosen. But when they sought him, he could not be found. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. Saul's about to be inaugurated as king, but he didn't have the personality or character to be put in that position, and he knew it. But it seems to me like the Lord's deliberately put somebody in there that didn't have the capability of being a king in the first place. He was only a farmer. How would you like it if you're an office worker or something and the next thing you're the king of a nation? It's not fair, is it? But this is what happened. Therefore they inquired of the Lord further, has the man come here yet? And the Lord answered, there he is, hidden among the equipment. Now this is really interesting because what's happening in a lot of religious organisations today, particularly the Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a whole heap of people that are unqualified and that are unable, that don't have the character or the personality to be in leadership positions, that are just hiding in the organisation. They're hiding among the equipment. Now I'd let your mind consider that for a minute. So they ran and brought him from there, and when he stood among the people, he was taller than any of the people from his shoulders upward. And Samuel said to all the people, do you see him whom the Lord has chosen, that there is no one like him among all the people? So all the people shouted and said, long live the king. Then Samuel explained to the people the behaviour of royalty, and wrote it in a book, and laid it up before the Lord. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house. And Saul also went home to Gibeah, and valiant men went with him, whose hearts God had touched. But some rebels, here we go, but some rebels said, how can this man save us? So they despised him and brought him no presents, but he held his peace. There's always rebels, isn't there? But sometimes rebels are for good, and we'll see as we go into chapter 11. 1 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 1. Saul saves Jabesh Gilead. Then Nahash the Ammonite came up and encamped against Jabesh Gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said to Nahash, make a covenant with us, and we will serve you. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, on this condition I will make a covenant with you, that I may put out all your right eyes, and bring reproach on all of Israel. Oh, well, give us your eye and we'll make a covenant with you. Oh, my goodness. And some people would have been silly enough to consider that. This is how ignorant and naive a lot of religious people are. I mean, it's no different to the blood doctrine of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't have blood and die. Don't have blood and die, and we'll make a covenant with you. Do you know what I mean? It's stupid. Then the elders of Jabesh said to him, hold off for 7 days, that we may send messages to all the territory of Israel. And then, if there is no one to save us, we will come to you. So they're prepared, if they can't find anyone, to have an eye taken out. My goodness. That's how desperate religious people can get. So the messengers came to Gibeah of Saul and told the news in the hearing of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And there was Saul, coming behind the herd from the field, and Saul said, what troubles the people? What that they weep? And they told him the words of the men of Jabesh. Then the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard this news, and his anger was greatly aroused. So he took a yoke of oxen and cut them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the territory of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, whoever does not go out with Saul and Samuel to battle, so it shall be done to his oxen. Well, that's given people a choice, isn't it? Oh my goodness. And this happens as well. If you don't have your blood, if you have a blood transfusion, you will not be saved. It's a load of rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. Life's more important than a religious doctrine. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent. When he numbered them to Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said to the messengers who came, thus you shall say to the men of Jabesh Gilead, tomorrow, by the time the sun is hot, you shall have help. The messengers came and reported it to the men of Jabesh, and they were all glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, tomorrow we will come out to you, and you may do with us whatever seems good to you. So it was on the next day that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the camp in the morning watch, and killed the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it happened that those who survived were scattered, so that no 2 of them were left together. Wow, a bit of a victory for Samuel, wasn't it? Or Saul and Samuel on the first campaign. Then the people said to Samuel, who is he who said, shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men that they may put them to death. Oh my goodness. But Saul said, Not a man shall be put to death this day, for today the Lord has accomplished salvation in Israel. Oh, they were talking about those rebels. They were talking about, remember the group of rebels? Then Samuel said to the people, Come, let us go to Gilead and renew the kingdom there. So all the people went to Gilgal, and they made Saul king over the Lord in Gilgal. There they made sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord, and there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. So they're off to a very good start on their campaign. And so, on that note, I'll finish. It's a bit short of this talk, but I'll see you in the next talk of Who Fooled You? How easily fooled are you? Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.